Hello, I'm Ginger Chang. Welcome to USTC360. It's great to see you again. Today, we get to accompany two Zulu Tzu Chi volunteers from South Africa, Gladys Ngema, who is the first Zulu commissioner, and Tolakele Mkhize on their first U.S. public speaking tour, Love Without Borders, throughout 13 major cities. For Gladys and Tolakele, wearing Tzu Chi's signature blue and white uniforms has been more than just representing Tzu Chi. It has meant the freedom to move forward from their dark past into a more spiritually fulfilling life, and the empowerment to extend their love to more than 5,000 orphan children with HIV/AIDS, and in the poor communities in their native land as well. After a long 18-hour plane ride from Durban, South Africa to New York City, Zulu Tzu Chi volunteers Gladys Ngema and Tolakele Mkhize show no sign of fatigue. Instead, they are extremely intrigued by the powdery white snow, since it's actually summertime right now in their native home, South Africa.
So this is your sweet bed.
Since I came here, it was very cold, but cold and ice was nothing. I was very warmed inside. This is a true story I found here at New York to my brothers and sisters, where I sleep every day. I always smile.
Okay.
And to make sure they will be healthy and fit for the long journey ahead, New York Tzu Chi volunteers conducted a simple health checkup for Gladys and Tolakele.
These things for them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Feelings to come here for the first time, this looked like heaven to me, because I didn't think before that I will come to New York. Now I have a great thank and a great love. I saw them loving us, accommodating us with love. Oh, what I can mention.
But before Gladys and Tolakele began their busy itinerary, they had some downtime to explore and enjoy the bright lights of Times Square and the festivities of the Big Apple for the very first time in their lives. To kick off the tour, Tzu Chi organized a seminar on the status of women at the United Nations 55th session on the topic of breaking the cycle of poverty of women and girls through education and training. Gladys and Tolakele were a little nervous at first, but became very confident as they thought about the important task they had been given, being the leading guest speakers at the United Nations.
The session we're going to present to you today was breaking the poverty of women and girls through education and training. They are our Zulu sisters, Zulu commissioners. First presenter will be Gladys.
When Tzu Chi found me in 1995, they brought us food. In 1995, they brought us food, they brought us clothing. So we were able to help ourselves and help other communities. We were taught the open skills for us, how to make beads and such things like this. Tzu Chi have made South Africa a big change. That's why I'm here. I will always support Tzu Chi. Thank you.
The next presenter will be Tolakele. She is 72 years old, like a young girl.
Her mother threw them away, both of them, because she got no money to support them. And he had that she got HIV and AIDS. Just throw them like that. When our sisters came to me and shared about the story, I was so shocked. I just jumped quickly and go and give a help there. That children is supposed to go to school. He doesn't go to school. He's losing his rights. Now, I wasn't afraid or scared to take them because our Master Shengen taught us that we are not so pure. We are rich in mind and our hearts. Thank you, ladies.
It was great to see the excitement of all the women that were here today, and I think they're ready to go out there and volunteer and help a lot more people. And that's the impact of the work that Tzu Chi is doing throughout the world.
Gladys and Tolakele are already finding themselves at home. They quickly adapted to the daily routine of the Tzu Chi volunteers in the New York chapter office. They also kept track of every detail to share with the other volunteers when they returned to South Africa.
You see, we are writing something, we are taking notes, so when we go back, first we're going to call all the commissioners and share what we did, especially to the old age people. I was so impressed there that Saturday here at New York when at our office I saw old ladies giving food. Oh, I was very so touched.
From participating in the morning meditation sessions to visiting old folks at the nursing home, Gladys and Tolakele joined right in. Despite the language barrier, they held hands and gave the elderly folks back massages, bringing them joy and laughter. In Chinatown, they also assisted Tzu Chi volunteers in preparing and distributing hot meals for the weekly soup kitchen to ensure they get the most out of their days in New York.
I feel like I need to learn from her on how to develop compassion in the spirit that she has. I was so touched when we were handing out food by the way she presented the 2 oranges to the old people and then bowed at the same time.
You see another vegetarian you don't know. That one who told me, and it was delicious for us. Now we learn a lot. We learn our old age home grannies come and have food. Now in our South Africa we didn't start with that. Now we've got effort. We are going to back to South Africa and did as you did here.
I fell down. When was that day?
Gladys is getting treated by an acupuncturist because she hurt her leg from accidentally falling in the street. Even though the injury is minor, Gladys is very worried that it will be a setback for their tour. This is her very first time being treated by traditional Chinese therapy, and the results of the treatment exceeded her wildest dreams.
Yes. Don't think about it. It's just.
In Zulu, we used to do the very same thing. We took from animals thing, those things. Yeah. It's just like a needle. But it's very painful. Not like this doctor. I have to cry and bleed when they're doing. But your doctors are very, very
Gladys and Tolakele's compelling personal stories of life in South Africa captured the hearts and the minds of the young college students at New York University.
For community service, and I'm very happy to be here because of all the great things that they talked about, and I'm really looking forward to help out around this area and do what I can to help out people that aren't hungry like the South Africans and everything.
Doing what I love, and I would really like to take the opportunity to go to South Africa.
I'm very, 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 very pleased to see young children like this. And
some of them, they told me that they are coming to South Africa. So I'll organize more children, more youth to come and meet, to share what we're doing in South Africa and what we are doing in America here in New York. I'm very, very, very pleased.
According to UNICEF, 1.9 million children were orphaned by HIV/AIDS in 2009. The speed with which the epidemic is growing continues to increase. Furthermore, before Tzu Chi established its first liaison office in Johannesburg in 1992, South Africa had been plagued with 50 years of political unrest. However, with Master Zheng Yan's encouragement, the first group of Tzu Chi volunteers worked to sow blessings and to gain the trust of the Zulu community. Over time, the Zulu people realized that Tzu Chi was there to help them, so a few individuals stepped forward to protect the volunteers from others who tried to hurt them. Gladys and Tolakele were part of that first group of Zulu volunteers whom Tzu Chi helped by teaching them to become self-sufficient so that they can help themselves as well as others in need.
South Africa has been named the Rainbow Nation, but in the past it was divided by oppressive racial segregation. Although today it's a country with a diverse culture that's working hard for peaceful coexistence, the disparity between the rich and poor is substantial.
Before I came to Tzu Chi, I was living in the forest. Forest, yes, with wild animals, because I've got no choice after my house was petrol bombs.
She had lost everything she owned, so she came to Tzu Chi empty-handed, like a refugee. Even though she came to Tzu Chi as a poor disaster victim who thought of herself as being unfortunate, she somehow eventually learned to take care of those people who are even less fortunate than her. She brings them hope.
For Tzu Chi volunteer Michael Pan, seeing the disadvantaged population emerge from poverty through self-sufficiency is a dream that he has envisioned.
In the past, many communities were in conflict, but once Tzu Chi volunteers came in and began interacting with them, the people learned to let go of their grudges, and after a period of time, learned to accept and love each other. Right now, locally, there are about 5,000 Zulu volunteers. Everyone volunteers in Tzu Chi every day, from early in the morning to late in the evening. These were once people who had thought they were poor, but they turned into individuals who help and care for other unfortunate souls. They are giving hope to other people.
I would rather skip one meal at a vegetarian restaurant in order to save the money and donate it to help feed one orphaned child in South Africa for a month. So I urge all of you in the audience today to join in the power of five.
$5 changes lives. You'll see. The power of five.
These 5,000 children don't know how they'll survive. But do you think they'll give up? No, they won't. No matter what it takes, they will find a way to live. One solution for them is stealing. So when they get older, they rob and hurt others. However, if more and more people care more about these orphans, then I believe the number of these kids turning into criminals will decrease.
I think this demonstration should be seen more all over the world, because you are showing a great example of humanity.
I'm going to talk to my friends and family and ask everyone to help out a little bit, because every little bit counts.
Really think that this program is very going to be supported, and I really do think that this $5, when it comes together, it will make a difference, and it will go straight to South Africa.
We'll definitely put it on my Facebook. Yeah, because it's such a huge social network to spread the information.
It's just $5, so everyone can do that. I will spread the word to everyone I know. We can't fall behind.
Church, schools, hospitals. I'm going to share all this I've got here. Now, more great love is going to come to South Africa. Especially even the children. Everyone is trying to collect stationery. Great love to South Africa.
No matter which U.S. city they're in, Gladys and Tolakele's stories struck a chord within the American community. The mayor of San Jose, Chuck Reed, praised the 2 Zulu volunteers for their selfless love and for their contributions to their local community. In Los Angeles, Gladys and Tolakele were interviewed by the local Asian language television channel, LA 18. Gladys and Tolakele were in Dallas around the time that Japan was slammed with an 8.9 magnitude earthquake and following a deadly tsunami. Without a second thought, the 2 Zulu volunteers took time out of their busy schedule to help local Tzu Chi volunteers fundraise at a local grocery store to help the quake victims.
Now I'm going back to my community and encourage them and teach them what the Americans do here. Americans, doesn't all the richness come like manna. They work hard, they reserve money, they do recycling, they don't spend too much money, so they are rich. Yeah? Now we must try.
Oh, I'm doing this because as a woman, I must be clean where I've been sleeping. As I was sleeping comfortable, I must clean. But please don't tell Rita, that my sister, she doesn't want us to do anything. She's getting us lazy. No.
With service to Las Vegas, with continuing service.
All the time we will be on our memories. Will miss us, will apart us with the flesh, but in spiritual, we are not missing you. Because all the way done to us, always will be a picture. All the words you are teaching us, always will keep it as a picture.
Power of 5. I will always remember that. That means there must be the power of 5. We are going to make in South Africa, it's power of 5 here, but there is going to power of 5,000 great love. What more people?
A total of 26 shows have been conducted during the tour. For some people, a month of endless speaking and traveling would seem tiring, but for Gladys and Tolakele, it was just the opposite. Instead of seeing their departure for South Africa as the ending of their trip, they see it as a new beginning, because now they have established new friends and family here in the US. They hope that the 2 countries will be forever united together through Tzu Chi's great spirit of love.
This summer, after Gladys and Tolakele return home, 22 young Tzu Chi collegiate volunteers from the United States are planning to visit Johannesburg and Durban in South Africa. In addition to bringing donated books and stationery, they will get the opportunity to attend sewing classes, visit the schools that Tzu Chi built for the orphan children, and try their hands at gardening in the vegetable gardens of love. In our next segment, Footprints, is about another person who has the same enthusiasm as Gladys and Tolakele. When Mingjin Xie, the CEO of Tzu Chi's Northern California chapter, heard that the Zulu Tzu Chi volunteers were scheduled to speak at San Jose State University, he hoped that many people would attend. But only a few people had signed up for the event. He immediately began handing out flyers on the college campus, and even had the opportunity to introduce Tzu Chi and this event to students in one of the classrooms.
I'll start with my brother from Tzu Chi.
Tzu Chi has not been in the US that long. It is a true blessing to be the executive director of the Northern California office. In April of this year, Northern California Tzu Chi conducted 8 days of free clinics in remote areas. I and many other volunteers had the opportunity to participate in the entire event. Throughout this event, we were interviewed by various media organizations with the hope that Tzu Chi can enter into mainstream America. In 1970, I found out about Tzu Chi from my parents. Later, when I came to California, I lived near Grandma's house in Silicon Valley. The first time that Tzu Chi participated in a Chinese sporting event, I saw her carrying a poster to fundraise from the public. I was greatly influenced by that. The Northern California office has been growing very fast. Each of the previous executive directors had been looking for a new office. We considered the density of volunteers in this area, as well as the distance it would be from their homes. I even took 10 trips on public buses, including the number 66 bus that Silicon Valley Grandma took when it was her turn to be on duty. We decided to pick this location since it is the most convenient for everyone. The most enjoyable thing for me is to have the opportunity to work with all of the other volunteers. On January 1st, 2010, we officially moved into our new office. Master's missions gave us a very clear and correct direction to go. That's the Bodhisattva path in this world.
For people who know Mingjin Xie, his commitment to familiarize the American community with Tzu Chi is not surprising because he has been carrying out that duty since 1992. And even though they now have a new office in San Jose, the volunteers say they will never lose the special connection with Grandma's place in Silicon Valley. I'm Ginger Chang. Thank you for watching USTC360. We'll see you again next week.